Hello, let's do the New York Times Medium Sudoku for June 3rd, 2024. And just to let you know, I follow a systematic method as a teaching aid for the mediums, but it was taking me like way too long to record every video by going over the method from fundamental principles each time. So instead, in the description, I have linked a video, which I'm very proud of, that I think I went over everything very nicely on a puzzle that introduced a lot of the concepts. So if you are a little bit confused about my methodology or any terminology I might be using, then please do check out that video. I think it will be helpful for you. So anyway, let's get started. There is a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself using the same Sudoku pad software I do. And now I'm going to get started now. Okay. That wasn't an awkward intro at all. All right, we have two sevens here. Let's start with the fives though. So what I do is I pick the box with the fewest number of givens. Then we pick the lowest digit in there and we try to find any buddies in the same band. And we can actually see that in this box here, there is only one place for 5. It's called a hidden single, so we can place the 5 there. Now the 7 also has a buddy here. Puts a 7 in one of these two. We can't place it, but we can notate with corner marks that within this box, the 7 ends up in one of these two cells. Okay, so now we just have to look at these two boxes against each other. We can pick the 1, 4, and 9, which are 3 digits we haven't looked at yet. We already looked at the 5. Look in here for 1, 4, 9. We do have the 1, so the 1s look in. This one also looks in, and that places this 1 as a hidden single. All right, nothing with, sorry, I almost missed the 4. This is why we're systematic about things. So the 4 ends up in one of these two, and then the 9. So the 9 doesn't have a buddy, but we did fill this box row. So if we look at all of these digits here, these digits are going to be restricted in the box even though there's no buddy. So the 1, 5, 7 are not interesting because they're already in the box, but the 9 is interesting because it puts 9 in one of these two cells. Now I will explain pointing because I think that's one of the more advanced things that's a little bit more difficult to understand, so reinforcement is important when learning, which is that in this box, what these corner marks are telling us is that in this box, the 9 has been reduced to these two cells. So in our solution, the 9 will either be here or it'll be here. We don't know which, but we do know that it'll be one of those two and only one of those two. And that's going to be the 9 for this row because both options put the 9 in the same row, which means these cannot be 9. So if the 9 is here, it's not here. These also can't be 9 for that reason, but we already have a 9 in the box. So the interesting thing is that these aren't 9. This 9 does look in, and this 9 looks up. So we end up with a 9 over here. So if you kind of imagine that we had a 9 down here somewhere, that took the 9 out of these and this 9 here, it's as if there was a buddy down here for this 9 that caused these 9s, and that buddy is actually true. And you can actually more directly see that via this row, which is that this 9 says these can't be 9 in the row, and these aren't 9 for the row, and this isn't 9 for the row. So the row needs a 9 in one of these two, and those both happen to be in this box. So however you see that, makes sense, but you end up filling every box with where the 9 might go, which is very nice when you get this. All right, and now we're going to look for any rows or boxes that have 4 or fewer open cells. The only one I see is this box. And so let's think about what digits remain in this box. So we already know about the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, right? So the remaining digits that go in these 4 cells are 3, 6, 8, 9. So the immediate thing I see is that this 9 here, right? We have that corner marked. So these aren't 9. So these are down to 3, 6, 8 at most. And I do see this 3 helping as well. So we want to remember that. And I'm going to use center marks for that. 3, 6, 8. I'm going to clean up this 3. So what this 6, 8 is telling us in center mark mode is it's specific to this cell. It's saying, hey, this cell in the solution will either be a 6 or an 8. And this will be 3, 6, or 8. And that helps us keep track. And once we get down to 1, we have what's called a naked single, and we can just place it, because if there's only one option, that is what we have to choose. Now these are down to 3, 6, 8, 9, and it can be any of those. Both of them can be any of those. And I only center mark if we're down to 3 or fewer digits. Center marking 3 or fewer allows us to find naked pairs and naked triples. If you start center marking 4, that means you're on the lookout for naked quads, and we're not really looking for those in these puzzles. It's kind of an act of desperation to look for a naked quad. And so by marking them, we're really just adding noise to the information. It's not information we care about right now. All right. So other than that, we don't have any more rows or boxes with 4 or fewer. We always target the ones with 4 or fewer because there's the highest chance that they'll be markable cells. There could be markable cells elsewhere, but we'll take a look if we need to, right? It's the kind of like need to know type thing where it's much more interesting to move on to the next band at this point than it is to keep hounding at all the cells in this band. So we are going to move on to this next band. We start with this 8. We start with the box with the fewest, right? No buddies for the 8, then the 7, 9, no buddy for the 7, 9. So there are no buddies here. There are no filled box rows. There are no rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer. So we just skip it. Just completely skip this band. We found nothing. All right, next band. We have this 9, no buddy for that. We have 2, 3, and 8. So the 3 and 8 do have buddies. Take them one at a time. I recommend numerical order so you don't lose your place. So the 3 is in one of these two. And then we also have the 2 8s. That puts the 8 in one of these two. Now this is another thing I'm going to explain at least a little bit, which is that we have found a hidden pair. This is something to be on the lookout for whenever you corner mark. Because what we've done is we've corner marked the 3 and the 8 into the same 2 cells within the box, and only those 2 cells. And so we need 2 cells for the 3 and the 8. One for the 3 and one for the 8. They can't both go in the same cell. So these are the only 2 cells that can be 3, 8, so they must be. And they can't be anything else. So whenever we get a hidden pair, hidden triple, something like that, what we want to think about is what was removed as options from these cells. And it's anything that's not 3, 8 and anything that's not 1, 2, 9, which they already couldn't be. And then we also have some stuff vertically, like they both can't be 1. In fact, now that we notice that, we might as well corner mark some 1s here. But so what were the digits? So for example, the 4, right? This one could have been a 4, but now it can't be. So you want to look around for 4, see if that affects things, like how 4 might be limited now. I'm not really seeing anything special about that. Also the 5. Is there anything special about 5s? Like I'm seeing this 5 look in, and these can't be 5, but it's not enough to do anything, right? We're going to think about 6. Okay, so 6 is interesting, right? Because we have this 6 looking in here, and then now these can't be 6 anymore. In fact, you can consider this as a filled box row if you want. Even though we don't know where the 3, 8 go, we know that it's 3, 8, 9. So no matter how this fills, it will be a filled box row 3, 8, 9. So the 6 looks in, and that means puts a 6 in one of these 3. And that's going to point over along with this 6, putting a 6 in one of these 2. So that's pretty interesting. And we're just doing that by just looking through each digit that we removed. We removed quite a bit from these, which is why it's taking some time. We removed a 7 from this one. The only thing I'm seeing is this 7 looking down, though. So I don't think we have anything special going on there. And then it can be 8 and 9 was not removed. So that is what we get out of that. Kind of nice to get that 6 there. Okay, and so that was from the 3 and the 8 here. There's no buddy for the 9. We already looked for that. So that's it for buddies. Did any row or box get reduced to 4 or fewer? And actually, yes, this row is down to 4 or fewer. Because according to the row, it doesn't care how the 3, 8 resolves. We have this 3, 8 pair. It affects the row. These are not 3, 8. You can already see they're not 3, 8 because it was a hidden pair, not a naked pair for the row. But anyway, these are 4. There are 4 digits left for these 4 cells. So let's think about what they are. They're basically the things we went over just now. They're the 4, 5, 6, 7. So we already have the 6 marked over here, and this can't be 5, 7. So if this cell here can't be 5, 6, or 7, it can only be the 4. So we have a naked single 4 here. Sometimes I get questions when I do a naked single like this, like, but 4 could have been elsewhere. And that doesn't matter. What matters is we're looking at this cell right here. This cell needs to have a value. And the value that it has needs to be a number from 1 to 9, right? It needs to be a digit from 1 to 9. Well, what digit can it be? Well, it can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. The only digit it can be is a 4. So it must be. That's a naked single 4. All right, now these digits are from 5, 6, 7, and I see this can't be 6, but that's all I'm seeing. So we'll fill 5, 6, 7, clear out the 6. All right, very nice. We got this 4, which is pretty handy. We want to make sure we follow up on that 4 if we can, but I don't see anything specifically that we can do with it. So, but now we did this row. Now this box is down to 4 digits because we placed the 4. So we need 2, 5, 7, 9. Again, this 5, 7 looking down is doing work because both the 5 and the 7 can't be here. So this has to be, this is a hidden 5, 7 pair. Or if you prefer, you would have seen this as a naked pair, specifically the 2, 9 naked pair. So you might have found a 2, 9 naked pair making this 5, 7, or the 5, 7 hidden pair, which reveals that this is 2, 9. Either way, you end up with this marking. And the 2, 9 naked pair is interesting because it removes 2 and 9 from the rest of the column. So that means this actually can't be 9 anymore. And that places 9 in the box because it's the only place in the box that can be 9, which I'm just using my corner marks. There's only one 9 corner mark left, so we can place that. Okay, 2 9 pair. I'm not going to look vertically yet because we were doing the horizontals, but we do want to make sure we pay attention to these pairs when we do scan the vertical. We're about to get there anyway, which is why I kind of want to wrap up this band before I forget. So this box was down to 4. That was very handy. I don't think there's anything else to see here at the moment. So we'll move on. Now we will do this stack here. So we're going to start with this 7 9. So 7s are basically done because we know the 7's in here. 9s are also basically done because we know the 9s are in here. So we also have the 1 and the 5. So these two 1s do look into here. This one looks in, putting a 1 in one of these two. And then the 5 does have a buddy in this 5 7 pair. And that does place the 5 right here. Very nice. Okay. And now vertically, we do have a triple remaining here, which we definitely want to fill. And actually, I can already tell you that triple is going to involve a 4 because we don't have a 4 yet. And these 4 corner marks are telling us these aren't 4. So for the column, this is the only place that could be 4. So we're going to place that. And then this is going to be a pair. It involves a 2. It's a 2 8 pair, it looks like. I'm not seeing any 2 8s helping out, so we'll just put 2 8 in. And that leaves a pair here as well, which technically you could have seen as a hidden pair, but there was no need to at this point. We are down to 3 6 here. I'm looking to see if 3 6 are resolved, and they do not seem to be. Okay, we just got this 4, I think. Yeah, but that doesn't help here. Did we get this 1 9? Yeah, we followed up on the 1 9. Okay, just making sure I followed up on this band. I guess getting this 4 did reduce this row to 4 or fewer, so we do want to look at that. And we also want to look at this row as well. I'm not sure why I didn't look earlier. So just failed to follow up. So we need 2 3 6 9 here. Is there anything special? Well, this can't be 3 or 9. So this is, oh, it can't be 2 3 or 9. Hold on, I said the wrong digits, or I remembered the wrong digits. Let's look again. We need 3 6 8 9. 3 6 8 9. Yeah, this can't be 3 8 or 9. So this is a naked 6. That makes this 3. That makes this 6. And then this is an 8 9 pair, which means this resolves as a 3 6. This is the only place for 3, and now this is the only place for 6. Or if you prefer, it removes 8 and 9. Removes 8 from both of these. Now this is a naked 6 and a naked 3. The hiddens basically always resolve in the opposite order as the nakeds because they're basically the same technique viewed in different ways. So this 6 looks down. That means that's not 6. This 3 looks down, giving us the 8 and the 3, which actually resolves our 9 and 8 up here. This 6 looks down, resolving the 6 for the box. Okay. There's a lot to do now, but let's go back up to this band. Let's finish penciling it because I think that's our best bet. This is 2 7 8. I'm seeing that this can't be 2 and this can't be 8, but it's not resolved. And this is 2 3 8. This still can't be 2 and this can't be 8. Okay. So I'm noticing in this box that 8 got reduced to just these 2 cells. So we can mark that. Normally I do pointing, but we already have both 8s down here, so it's not useful. All right, well, we were doing this stack. Let's go back to that. How about that? I did get this 6, but I don't think it affects the band at all. We already have everything we know about 6s. All right, so this is going to be a triple. This is going to be a triple. Let's just fill them. I'm already seeing this as a naked single because it can't be 1 3. The 1 3 go here for the column, and this is whatever's missing. It looks like it's an 8. Okay. Sorry, something in my mouth. Disgusting. All right. I apologize. Let's see. I need, for this box, I need 2, 4, and 6. I'm seeing the top one can't be 2, but that's all I'm seeing. So 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. That's not a 2. All right. So this stack is obviously done. Now let's look at this stack. It's a little bit silly at this point because we're almost done with the puzzle, but we can look at the 1s. We can look at the 2s. So the 2s do look down. So there's a 2 in one of these two. And we can look at the 3s. 3s are done. And then we can also look at the 8 and the 9s. We have the buddy 8s here. This 8 looks in. That places this 8. And we can look at the 9s. And this 9 looks in, placing the 9. So now these two 9s, we follow up, and that puts a 9 in one of these two. This box is down to 4, so let's just take a look. We need a 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am seeing that 7 is limited to only here. And then now those 7s look in, putting a 7 over here. And so now the 5 can't be here or here, so the 5 is here. And now we're down to a 4-6 pair. This 6 tells us the order. That's 4 and that's 6. All right, so we get a 6 here. We also get this 6, last place for 6 in this box. This column just finishes, has 1 digit left. Trying to find it, it's a 5. This column has 2 digits left. It's the 1 and something. Looks like 1 and 9. Nope, not 9. I missed it. 1 and 7. Okay, not resolved. And then this is going to be 2 and 4. Also not resolved. Okay, well, something is going to clean all this up real quick, I'm sure. This is 139. This can't be 3, but otherwise I don't see. Oopsie. 139. Let's see. Is there anything I can buddy up here instead of just penciling? We do have the 2 5s looking in. This 5 looks down. So 5's down here. Yeah, otherwise I don't see it. So what do we need here? 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm just going to fill that out. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, this can't be the, oh no, sorry, 1, 2, 4, 5 is wrong. Let's try that again. We need 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm seeing that the 6 in this row can only be here because we have this 6 and this 6. Actually, you can just see it for the box as well. So we can place the 6, and then now these are 2, 4, 5. Seeing this can't be 4. Okay, 2, 4, 5. That's not 4. Thought it might be resolved. All right, so what's actually going to resolve this? We have not scanned this stack yet, so let's just give it a quick glance. The 6s are done. The 8s are marked. 2 and 3 don't really do much. Okay. So it's not going to be just easy hidden singles. So what am I missing here is always the question right at the end when we haven't just finished. Yeah, there's not an obvious place to look. Like this row has a bunch left. This row has 5 left. This box has 5 left. Box has a bunch left. Yeah, so we just kind of have to pick somewhere. And it comes down to either instinct or just doing all of it. So I'm going to start with this box, which is down to 5, and I'm just going to think about what digits are left. So for example, the 1 is remaining. So this 1 looks down, and we see this can't be 1. It's because of this one here. So 1 ends up in one of these two, which is going to point up, removing 1 from these cells. And so 1 ends up in one of these two. Oops, I meant to corner mark that. 1 in one of these two. That seems useful. So removing 1 from here, did that do anything? Or removing 1 from here, did that do anything? Not immediately obvious to me. Okay, so we're going to keep looking at this box. We also need a 4 in the box. 4 is unrestricted. We do need a 5. This 5 looks down, but this can be 5 also. So that's not helpful. Okay, we need a 7. And we need a 9. All right, this 9 looks down and this 9 looks in. Okay, so we have a hidden 1-9 pair. That's very helpful. Okay, so that 1-9 pair does remove 9 from here. So this is 3, this is 8, this is 7, this is 2, this is 3. That's a 5. This is not 5. Okay, we get the 7 here. That's 5 and 7. We get our 1 and 3. Yeah, just following these around here. 2 and 8 up here. This 1 gives us the 9 here. That places the 1 in the box as well. Over here, this all resolves. 1, 9, 2, 4. This whole row resolved. And this whole row resolves. These rows finish with just whatever digits remaining. That looks like a 5. This looks like a 4. We get the 2 and the 7 here. 4 and 2, 4, and we're done. And yes, you can see that we have a new feature. Sven has started advertising new features when they come out, which is neat, which is actually what's allowing us to have these links here for the easy, medium, and hard. Hopefully that's been convenient for you. Cool. So it seems like this puzzle almost finished with our standard band and stack scanning, but then we had to finish with individual box scanning, and doing box 9 was the important thing, finding this hidden 1-9 pair, which was not obvious because it was a 1-9 coming in from here and a 1-9 coming in from here. That is actually available right from the start because you only need our givens to do that, this given 8-3. But we don't look for that kind of thing in our medium solves until we've exhausted all of our band and stack logic, because oftentimes it's not needed. It's a little bit more difficult to understand and explain. So it is something maybe to incorporate into your solves once you're comfortable with the rest of everything else. And you can kind of watch my hard solves to see what that looks like, to kind of do a more hybrid-y solve where you might be jumping around a little bit more, you're looking for more advanced techniques at the same time as the basic ones, that kind of thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.